Hello again from Kampala in Uganda. My name is Becky and I live here in this beautiful country in Africa. I wonder if you've had any moments in the last few weeks where you've said to yourself, what's the point? I can't go anywhere, so what's the point in changing out of my pajamas in the morning? I can't get to work, so what's the point in being productive? It might not even be something as tangible as that. Maybe just a general feeling of what's the point in doing anything right now? I think that can be a stress-related feeling. And there's certainly more than enough stress to go around right now. Even everyday situations seem so much harder than they should be in this time of our lives. And the immediate response can often be, what's the point? I had one of those moments myself a few days ago. We have a bread maker here in Kampala, and it is a wonderful machine. You just add in flour and water and salt and a little bit of sugar, and a few hours later, there's a loaf of bread in front of you. This machine has mixed it and proved it and baked it all for you without you doing anything at all. Fantastic. But I saw there was a recipe in the book that came with the machine for bread rolls. So I thought I'd give it a go, and the machine still makes the dough for you. It mixes all the ingredients together, but then you have to take that dough and knead it and shape it into the bread rolls that you want. Well, when I took the dough out of that machine, it was so ridiculously sticky, and try as I might, sprinkling flour and pummeling this dough, I just could not get it to form anything that vaguely resembled bread rolls. Just a sticky, wet mass of dough. All I wanted to do was just throw my messy dough-covered hands up into the air and say, what's the point? I give up. This is just too hard right now. I cannot take this on top of everything else. Well, if you've ever found yourself asking that question, what's the point? Then I have good news for you, because you're in good company. In the Bible, there was a man called Elijah. He was a prophet of God in the Old Testament at a time when those people who believed in God, in the God of their ancestors, in the one true God, were facing some serious persecution from the king at the time, a man called Ahab, and his charming wife, a woman called Jezebel. Now, Elijah had seen some amazing miracles in this time. He had seen God's awesome power at work, doing the impossible. Just pick up your Bible and have a look at 1 Kings chapter 18 for some evidence of the amazing things that Elijah had seen. But now the queen of this nation, Jezebel, had put a mark out on Elijah. She'd told him that she was going to kill him. Elijah's response is found in the Bible in 1 Kings chapter 19. Verses 3-5. It says, Elijah was afraid and ran for his life. When he came to Beersheba in Judah, he left his servant there, while he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness. He came to a broom bush, sat down under it, and prayed that he might die. I have had enough, Lord, he said. Take my life. I am no better than my ancestors. Then he lay down under the bush and fell asleep. That's a what's the point reaction, if I've ever heard one. I can't be bothered anymore, God. I have tried my hardest, but now I give up. I just can't do it anymore. What's the point in even trying? It's a very human reaction when we face really difficult situations. Elijah was facing a really hard situation. His life was at risk. He was in real danger of dying. But we're facing a really difficult situation too. We're facing a whole world in lockdown and hearing endless news reports of danger and death. It's a hard time, and it is not surprising that we have the occasional moment where we just think, what's the point? But the wonderful thing is, regardless of our reaction in tough times, God doesn't stop caring for us. He doesn't stop loving us. He doesn't stop speaking into our lives. In fact, if you carry on reading through that chapter, 1 Kings chapter 19, and I really encourage you to do so, you'll see that there's a moment where Elijah hears a powerful wind, and then an earthquake, and then a fire, and then finally a gentle whisper. God's voice speaking straight to him. If you're in a what's the point moment right now, that's okay. But listen out for that gentle whisper. See, God took that moment to reassure Elijah. He told him that he wasn't on his own, standing up for what was right in a really difficult time in the world. God is constantly speaking into our situations. He is always working on our behalf. Don't let your what's the point moment stop you listening out for his gentle whisper. Because when you hear it, he will reassure you. He will let you know that he is still working for you. And he will let you know that whatever happens, you are safe in his hands. I pray that you have a wonderful day today, whatever is happening in the world for you right now. And that even if you feel, what's the point in doing anything, that you would take a moment to hear that little whisper of God speak into your life and say, it's going to be okay. I'll see you next time.